This screenshot highlights a massive problem with Jude Bellingham's role in this England team and makes me confused about what his role actually is. Welcome back to the Ben Bowman YouTube channel. Hope you're doing good. That was very poor, wasn't it? England 0, Slovenia 0. But we're top of the group, hey lads. We've gone through. We are there. That's the most important thing, isn't it, right? Wrong. That last night was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And we're going to unpack bits of it today. Yeah, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. And we're going to go through this first, I think, actually, because Jude Bellingham is someone that I want to talk about. Jude Bellingham is someone that I went very big on before the tournament, and a lot of people did, because I think he was getting absolutely battered in certain sections of the media and social media as well. Is he going to live up to the hype? Is he actually that good? People seeing his performances for Real Madrid and being a bit confused. He was playing more of a bit of a sacrificial role for them, and I think that's kind of what he's doing for England in these last two games, especially because he's allowing Foden to thrive a little bit more centrally, but we'll come on to that as well. But this, to me, was a massive, massive problem. An absolutely big, massive problem. Because if we roll forward to the start of this, and you were seeing on the thumbnail, Cole Palmer, the difference. And Cole Palmer did make a massive difference last night. We'll talk about Cole Palmer shortly. And we'll talk about Cole Palmer now, because Cole Palmer is the one that kind of ignites the spark for England in this move. About 15 minutes to go. This was the most frustrating passage of play I found in the whole game, because we actually showed that we could play, but it ended in nothing. And it actually ended us giving a free kick back to Slovenia, trying to stop a counter-attack. I think it was Rice or Foden that got booked for it. But it starts here. Palmer comes on for Saka, does what he does best, picks up the ball on the right-hand side and drifts into these pockets, which is what you want against a low-block team. I think that Palmer was the right sub, 100%. A lot of people calling for him to start. Let me know in the comments below, would you start Cole Palmer in the next game, whether that's against the Netherlands or whether that's the Czech Republic, whether that changes anything for you in your opinion either in terms of who we set up against. But Cole Palmer, really good. Really, really good here. Picks the ball up. Kobbie Mainoo again, who came on at half-time, again, made a massive difference. But we'll talk about the problem with that as well, because Gareth Southgate's comments after the game made me even more confused about what this England team is trying to be. Palmer picks it up, spots the run of Mainoo, lovely ball through the lines. This is why I wanted to see Palmer against Denmark. Not that Denmark were playing a low block, but I thought the actual openness of the Denmark game in terms of our ability to maybe turn them over on the transition and having someone who could play these kind of cute balls through the lines is what we were missing with a striker that wants to run in behind. But now, on the pitch, you've got a midfielder in Mainoo who's brave enough to make that run. Makes the run in there. Gets in, gets his head up. Where is Jude Bellingham? You can see him, but I'm asking you, where is he? Because he should be there. He should be here, on the penalty spot. That's exactly where he should be. Because we've been told that Jude Bellingham is a number 10. He's a great shadow striker, a great second striker. As a Spurs fan, been seeing kind of comparisons with Dele Alli. Obviously, Jude Bellingham is a different player, but in terms of his ability to link with Harry Kane, a lot of what we saw for England and for Tottenham over the years was Kane dropping deep, Alli going beyond. And that's what I think a lot of us wanted to see with Bellingham. Kane here occupying a centre-back. Could Kane peel off to the centre spot? Of course he could. He could. But Kane being there has left that space. And Bellingham, that's a problem. I saw James Alcott talking about Jude Bellingham's body language, which was something I thought was a problem last night as well, getting frustrated with little things. It's not just his body language here, but look where the ball ends up. The ball is basically on the centre spot, and Jude Bellingham is watching it. I'm not saying that obviously it's moved on and Jude Bellingham can't just make that run in there now and sweep that in, but Jude Bellingham's got to, if you go back one, Bellingham there has gone from, what would you say that is, about 25 yards from goal? Remember his starting position there? And then we move it on. He's hardly moved. He has hardly moved. He's moved about 5 yards, I think. Something that we've seen with Jude Bellingham all season. It's something that I highlighted in the video I did before the tournament in terms of how key I thought Trent Alexander-Arnold could be to this team. A lot of it was because I thought Jude Bellingham would be making those runs, those lung busting runs to the back post or getting around the penalty area, wanting to get involved. Where was that then? Where was that there? This was one of my biggest frustrations. And look, there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about last night. I don't think we need to go into the game in detail as a whole because we thought it was really poor and there's not a hell of a lot to analyse that we almost didn't know already. But that was a huge frustration for me. But what it does do is highlight why these two could be very important to this team. Let's leave that for there and let's go to this. Average positions for last night. Firstly, before we do that, one, subscribe to the channel, but also this group, the group of shame. 6 games, 1 win. How many goals? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 goals in the whole group. One of Ukraine, Belgium, Romania, or Slovakia could go out today with more points than Denmark, Slovenia, and Serbia. And obviously, I'd chuck England in that disappointment as well, because we were terrible. But this group, the group of shame, as many people are calling it, rightly so. 1 win, 5 draws. Anyway, average positions for last night. Kieran Trippier was a huge issue, and it's not Kieran Trippier's fault. Let's go to the tactics board here, because let's move everyone up a little bit, actually, into maybe a semblance of kind of what these average positions are. Let's go back and have a look at this quickly. So you've got Kane there, Bellingham, Saka wide, Foden just behind Bellingham, almost there. Rice just behind Foden. We can just leave these for now. Let's just move all these up a little bit. Walker, Soames, Gahey, Trippier. When England are building from the back, right? Chuck the ball on there. Give it to Mark Gahey. Great again last night, by the way. When Trippier is more than comfortable receiving the ball there. Quite often he's always asking for it. But what you want there, with these players almost a bit more narrow, and Bellingham was doing this a lot. And actually, if you go back to Bellingham's heat map, look how much time he spends out there. And this is something I actually highlighted before the tournament, and why I thought Foden could work on the left is because of Bellingham's runs here, Foden has actually got the room to move in here, and he did that a lot last night. I don't mind Bellingham doing that at all. But again, Bellingham looks ineffective out there. Foden looks ineffective when he goes out there, because this whole left side is ineffective. Because when Trippier receives the ball, he'll carry it, but then he'll come back. He'll come back, he'll want to go in here, and then the run never gets carried on. There were so many examples last night, and I haven't got screenshots to show you, but you would have watched the game with your eyes. I only wanted to highlight these screenshots that I showed you before because of I thought it was so frustrating about Jude Bellingham. And again, you don't need me to show you how poor. Again, it's not Trippier's fault. He wasn't poor last night, but it's just killing us every time we go down this side. Again, if you actually look at Trippier's heat map, he gets up and down. He gets up and down, but it's just that when he gets into these areas, it's always the safe pass. To be fair to Trippier, there was one instance where I think it was Gallagher makes that run across the front post. Let's just move Bellingham out of the way. Trippier gets into this sort of position, and with the crossing ability that Trippier's got, he's always going to hurt. He can always hurt you if he comes back inside. But for one moment, for one potential chance, you're sacrificing the balance of the rest of the team. And obviously, he's not got the options to change it. Luke Shaw's not there. I think, to be fair to Southgate, I think even if Shaw is 50, 60% fit, then you gamble on him. But not to take someone else is a huge. Even if you don't think they've got the quality, just to be there to balance out the team. Trippier puts in a brilliant cross there. Gallagher just misses it. Kane just misses it, and it goes wide. Unlucky for Trippier, but for 9 times out of 10 in the game, or for 89 out of the 90 minutes where he's not putting that ball in, just coming back inside is just slowing all of the momentum down and killing us. Absolutely killing us. When you need someone. When Foden picks up the ball here, or Bellingham picks up the ball here in these sorts of positions where they're moving towards the goal, you need someone doing this. And even if you've got someone doing that, ready to receive the ball, you need someone to go here and cut, put it across here, or even from sort of these positions. Can you curl it in there? You don't want someone getting there and doing this. Passing back. Cutting inside, passing back, killing the momentum, slowing us down. Frustrating. We're going to go through sort of maybe some options again in terms of what I think we could do in the next game, which is likely to be the Netherlands or the Czech Republic. But I want to have a look at some more of these average positions because I think it's very interesting when the game changed and the substitutions came on. Southgate changed the game and the substitutions came on. Saka, I thought, was ineffective last night. There were a lot of people on Twitter that I saw saying that he was getting too close to Kane. I didn't see that at all. I mean, Kane's kind of pretty much everywhere. We saw Kane dropping very deep. Again, if he's got runners in behind, that's fine. I thought he actually played quite well last night, Harry Kane, for the most part. But Saka here, just very ineffective. Foden, I thought, was much better. Again, maybe not spending as much time in the middle as you would have wanted him to, with Bellingham spending a lot of time out here. But let's throw the substitutions on. And obviously 26 is Mainoo, 24 is Palmer, and 18 is Anthony Gordon. Obviously Gordon, I mean, what has he got to do to get on the pitch for more than 5 minutes? And obviously when he came on, he makes that pass to Mainoo, who flicks it to Kane, who passes it on to Palmer, and he has to shot the goalkeeper. This looks a lot better for me, because you look at the difference, right, between Conor Gallagher, who was off at half-time. We were told that Conor Gallagher was brought into this team to press high. That was his heat map for last night. Stuck on the halfway line. Rice, yeah, bombing on forward, progressing. Nice. Rice was good, I thought, last night, to be fair to him. That's what you want. If you're going to play against a low block, that's what you want. Someone there who wants to receive the ball, Kobbie Mainoo. We saw that for the chance at the end, that little flick to Kane, wanting to advance into these areas, weren't getting any of that from Gallagher at all. And I thought Mainoo made a massive difference. And I actually think Mainoo might have played his way into the team. I'm not sure if Cole Palmer has, but Palmer, again, was really bright last night when he came on. Let's have a look at his stats. 12 out of 12 accurate passes. Obviously made that key pass through to Mainoo that we talked about for the chance. But Palmer was drifting inside and causing problems. Saka wasn't doing that. They're very different players, to be fair. I still think you start Saka, but there is an argument to play Palmer on that right-hand side instead in terms of how you want to set up. I thought he made a massive difference, for sure. So did Mainoo. But last night was pretty shocking. Let's go to this then. This is how we lined up last night. What do you do? What do you do if you're Gareth Southgate? What do you do? A lot of people are calling for this. I don't think he's going to go for Wharton. The fact that Wharton's not played any minutes in this tournament is quite frankly quite negligent in terms of how well you can balance the side out with him in it. I think, although I think Mainoo deserves to start over Gallagher based on the performance we saw, I think this is what needs to happen still. Where is he? Anthony Gordon. So bright when he came on last night. He said it in his interview after the game. I found it quite annoying that Anthony Gordon was kind of the one that had to face some of the questions when he's been on the pitch for 5 minutes in the tournament, but I thought he spoke really well, and I thought he's going to give us something. It's what we've all been calling for. Because, again, you're killing yourself by having Trippier at left-back with no real outlet on that left-hand side. We're having the same conversation video after video, game after game, week after week. It's so boring, but it's what needs to happen. Bellingham was really poor last night. And he's kind of created an argument for him not to be in the team, but I think in a more transitional game against the Dutch, who are going to want to come at us and play football, I think Bellingham's legs are going to be important in there. And also, I think if Bellingham is being used as a sacrificial piece in that 10 to allow Foden more space to drift in, if that's what you see him as, allow Foden to just go in there and be the main man and just drop Bellingham back in a role that we know he's suited to anyway, and allow you to get Gordon in the team and get the best out of the players that you've actually got. I find it bonkers. And I haven't really got much more to say than that, because I feel like we're all very much on the same page. You know, these England videos are hard to do now because I was so full of optimism going into the tournament, even with the defensive issues that we had, and you know this defense here. Mark Gay has been a revelation, but these two have been superb. I think Rice was a lot better. I thought Rice was good in the first game. We had a poor one against Denmark, but this was what we were worried about. Obviously, we were worried about this as well. And again, Trippier's been good. He has actually been good. He's just ineffective. And I think you've got to make changes to get around that. And whether it's you do something like this, maybe move Walker over there, which he did in the game, and start Trent. Because then at least you can do this, have 2 10s, and Bellingham and Foden. Trent can actually come into here in a role that he's much more suited to as a right back, tucking in, and then you go here, and then almost you can be quite flexible in that game. You can come here, walk, and go in the centre. I think that's what I'd quite like to see, to be honest. That's what I'd like to see in the next game. Something like that. Walker is the left back, setting up, but plays as almost the left-sided centre back. Or you can sort of juggle that about how you want. Have Trent as the right back, but just allowing the freedom to come in here. and defend. That's what I would go with personally. But set it up like this on paper. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching the video. It's been a bit of a downbeat one today, but there wasn't much to be positive about last night, maybe other than Palmer and Kobbie Mainoo. So hopefully we see changes going into the next game. Hopefully the team respond, and we do see kind of the pattern that we've seen from England in previous tournaments of growing into the tournament and getting into in the group stage, and maybe that step up in terms of the calibre of opposition will suit England. But I really don't feel great about that game, and I really don't feel good about this. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, make sure to like the video, and thank you so much for all the support so far. You've been amazing. Thank you very much. Come on, England.